court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impax's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it? You would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Well, well. It looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Umgard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Umgard could not have known that, and so that fact remains unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. His theory that Umgard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Do we have any evidence? I mean, does that bring into account the spy camera or the bear? So what exactly would be wrong with it? There's Celeste's photo. There's also the bear. But that's going under the assumption that the suicide note was real. But also, how would he have known? Like, that's the other big thing. How would he have known that the suicide note was in the figurine? Especially if it was fake. I don't know. I don't like that it's gonna cost me, but I mean, I did just start the episode with a save state. So, I guess we can at least try. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Umgard to not have known it was a fake. I don't know. Maybe it is just a matter that I should just back down. It was impossible for Matt to not know it was a fake. I don't know. I feel like this one might have been a misplay. It might have been a misplay on my part. How would Matt have known for a fact that the suicide note was real? The camera, maybe? That doesn't really say that whether or not that's actually real or not. There is the suicide report itself, because there was information. She did have ink traces on her hand at the time her autopsy report was made. So it's possible that there was indeed a suicide note at some point. How would Matt have known that this... I don't know. I feel like this might have been just a misplay on my end. Let's try the camera. Take that! Was I actually right? I was just flying by the seat of my pants, just like Phoenix usually is. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor? Well, very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera! Oh, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. On Guard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. On Guard would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ugh. So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. On Guard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. On Guard monitored Mr. Corita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. On Guard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Ugh. Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth? It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. Ugh. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. On Guard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who perfectly fit... Oh, hold on. This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelly DeKiller to commit murder? That's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It's... Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself, Mr. Shelly DeKiller. Oh, Mr. DeKiller. Wait! Shelly DeKiller? You mean the killer? I mean, the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here to the witness stand. Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. Very well then! The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your occupation, please. Yeah, I knew it! I knew it would be the transmitter! It was literally the only way this would have made any sense without it being like, I couldn't even say Gumshoe dressed up because he had an accident. It'd be funny if it was Larry. Very good, sir. My name is Shelly DeKiller, and I am a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor, how can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. DeKiller will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this really is Mr. DeKiller himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelly DeKiller. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya! A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly DeKiller. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. No! Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream. Shelly DeKiller. What is he going to say? Weird! Is he going to try to implicate Adrian? Or what? Because the whole point of this is because he is a man of integrity. An assassin with integrity. He would not throw Matt under the bus. Especially since he's gone to such lengths to keep Maya. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. DeKiller seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. DeKiller is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He's always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. Okay, well, there's nothing really much to contradict this. First day, yeah, like, there's nothing to really contradict anything. Just press everything and see where we go. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your client's... I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry, go on. Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about Maya's situation! Alright, to an assassin, nothing's more important between trust. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It's never happened before, but if it ever did... Yes? That person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly, That's enough! Please, no more! Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. Okay, and that's the reason I'm here today on the witness stand. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. This is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. You... Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, but would you care to die? No! I didn't say anything! The judge had better watch himself. Weird! So Matt broke the rules of their engagement by implicating By implicating Adrian? He broke the rules? Weird? Unless he's trying to double cross and basically say that Adrian broke the rules of the arrangement. That would make a lot more sense to me. Well, I guess we'll just press this and then see where this goes. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. The egomaniacal! It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Patience. Try to calm down a little. It's important to try to understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and closed, so you're gonna have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. Wait, what? So do we just continue? What? Oh, okay, this is new. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person. I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone. Do you think you can understand my logic? This game just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really? In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You've made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. And that is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. Ah, here we are. Now then, I do believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client. I'm thinking he's going to just say Adrian, but we'll see where it goes. If he truly is throwing Matt under the bus, or it's a double lie to protect Matt. What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. Yep! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! Knew that was where this is gonna go. What? Whoa! Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier! Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What?! This can't be! On the phone earlier! What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Not on guard, perhaps? I knew it! This is outrageous! I was deceived! This witness is telling a very serious lie! But you were the one who summoned this witness! You, Shelly the Killer! My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive, and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No! With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue with your discussion, and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? The way this is going, Enguarde will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. DeKiller's lying. And Enguarde, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelly DeKiller is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me! Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. DeKiller himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the Nickel Samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impacts was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No! Mr. Wright! You know the truth! Tell them! Tell them the real story! Who the real killer is! Tell them! Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? There's only one thing we can do. We let it drag on. Saving Maya is important. But Phoenix's own integrity is on the line. Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. You're a lawyer. I know! But Matt Enguarde is a killer. A murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I am no better than Enguarde. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Enguarde convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. DeKiller. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job is done. I'm not done yet. To see through the witness's lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here, in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About... All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court?